Good afternoon and welcome to LUTV's coverage this afternoon. It is more Leeds United Women football for us, and this time it is against a familiar foe. Norton and Stockton Ancients will be today's opponents, the same opponents that Leeds United managed to beat this time last week. Before we get into the form book and the situation in the table, we'll get you the two teams as the referee and the officials just go through the introductions. So Leeds, much changed team. From Dan O'Hearn's team, it is Georgia Watton, Rebecca Bass, Catherine Hamill, Kirsty Hunt, Savannah Robson, Kenesha May Underdown, Sarah Danby, Amy Woodruff, Sandra Suarez-Martins, Katie Astle and Abby Brown. It is Paige Williams, Katie Ramsden, Rachel Hindle, Laura Bartup and Catherine Smith on the bench. As for today's visitors, Norton Stockton go with Chisnell, Coyle, Johnson, Maguire, Burton, Hodgson, Tierney, Reid, Owens, Bassett and Willwood. Just the two subs of Chris Burton, West and Patrick. Delighted to say that myself, Tom Hill, is joined by Jodie Hunter yet again for the Leeds United Women's game. So once again, Jodie, thank you for joining us. And we were saying, just as we got to see each other this afternoon, what an exciting week this is. We've got a league game today, we've got a County Cup final midweek and another league game at Ellen Road. So perhaps the biggest week of the season. Don't want to put too much of pressure on it, but the reality is that is the case.
Yeah, I think obviously we want to take each game as it comes, but I know it's obviously a big week that we need to kind of stay focused for each game. I know we had a similar start of the season when we played Liverpool and we got 3 points from each game, totaling 9 points to start the season off, so that was a really good start, so hopefully we can do the same this week.
The two teams just get themselves set and ready for proceedings. So Leeds have a changed lineup, experimental because of the cup final in midweek. Brodie Hannon sadly has had a bout of illness that she's missed out with today, so a centre-back pairing that will change today. There's Dobby injured, Smart's being rested, Nolan and Joyce injured. Big opportunity for Katie Astle today, a player that we'd like to see a bit more of going forward. Reserve player that's got a quite incredible record of 26 goals this season in 19 appearances. So it's very hard not to get excited about that, Jodie, because you want the youngsters to come through. We were speaking the last time we did a commentary together about the impact that the games have had at Tadcaster, inspiring the next generation of Leeds United women players, hopefully. And if a reserve player can come into the fold, step up and do well, that's the blueprint to follow suit from.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want. We want the youngsters coming through to push through and obviously have the first team something to think about in their positions. But she's trained quite a while with us on and off, and she's a very strong centre-forward player that hopefully we can get the ball to. She can show us what she can do.
Yeah, hopefully what she can do is put the ball in that back of that net as Catherine Hamill just goes through the final preparations. Kickoff will be slightly delayed. Should have been a 2 o'clock start, but we are all good to go as Catherine Hamill returns to that huddle. So last instructions, should be a 4-3-3 today. Do believe it'll be Hunt alongside Hamill at centre back. We're nearly ready for proceedings set to get underway. Amy Woodruff also in the mix. Suarez-Martins making her way out to the right-hand side, and Jodie has got her first thing right of the day. I was asking Jodie's prediction of who plays left, who plays right at Suarez-Martins, Abby Brown. Point to you so far. But I guess the bonus is, as we wait for kick-off, they can swap round at any point.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really big bonus in our team. We've got a lot of players that are very versatile, and it's obviously a good guess of mine to which side they're going to start on. But
I don't think you've been too kind to yourself with a guess. We say it's expert knowledge as the game is underway. Leeds have to start quickly as can't afford Norton Stockton to get a foothold in this game. Shot comes in, good hands, good save from Georgia Watton. Really important, in fact, that Watton gets the ball in her hands nice and early. And what looks like a decent day at Tadcaster for the weather. Hopefully stays that way for the two respective teams. So Leeds have got the better of Norton Stockton on both occasions they've met this season. 2-1 scorelines, looking to make it the treble today. And a run of form that is mainly about building for the future, the cup, to have something to celebrate for this season, to show the progress. it's games like this that we do feel maybe with the yardstick that Dan O'Hearn has to use, as Robson just times her little run to get goal side right at the last minute, just waiting for the forward for Norton to get into position and pounced as Hassel just takes her eye off the ball and concedes possession. But real rarity, certainly for myself this season, to not see an attack that involves Laura Bartup. And I should say it's all about competition for places. We were speaking in the last few weeks about the team, the changes that can be made, the depth now that's involved, and I think Laura Bartup's names were the first on the team sheet, and rightly so. But it's always good for a coach to have somebody that can keep her on her toes.
Yeah, as a player, you don't want to be guaranteed that spot. You always want to have someone challenging you, keeping you on your toes there, to make sure you're playing the best that you can play.
Yeah, here comes Brown in attack. Whips it towards the near post. It's a good ball and a late touch steered behind. That should be a corner. I think the referee gave it at the very last second. It looked to be Heather Johnson that's just got the toe to it. Good ball in from Abby Brown. We're just waiting to see a set piece to be taken. It should be Danby. Floated in. Hamill's going to head it towards goal. A couple of Norton Stockton players nearly get to it. Eventually one pokes it away. But it's a good start here, Jodie.
Yeah, it's what you want, isn't it?
Corner yet to be taken. It will be Brown. Taken short. Danby in helping hand as Brown tries to get back on side, tries to poke it around the defender and just about gets there. And the defender forces it behind for a goal kick. 3 minutes gone. Decent start for Leeds.
Yeah, we know Norton are a team to go long, so obviously if we can limit that and then obviously get the ball down and play around them, that's probably going to be our strength today.
Goalkeeper Rachel Chisnell takes the goal kick, doesn't get the required power on it. Brown has to put the challenge in, can't get to the second ball, then he gives away a free kick as Bass has to readjust her feet and get back into position, and does so, just pokes it down the line to Suarez Martins, who takes it in her stride. She will look downfield. A horrible bounce on that ball towards Woodruff, who's trying to join the attack, and almost a third centre forward on the pitch there as Brown gets it. Brown's going to go for goal and just past the near post.
I think she thought maybe one of the players are going to go wide for her there, take maybe a defender away so she get a clearer shot. Yeah,
I guess we naturally see forwards go the other side, don't we, to go across the goal, but sometimes it can be a lot cuter, more beneficial to try and catch the keeper out double bluff, as Hassel trying to get to the ball. Here is Hassel again, turns it back inside, nearly trying to find Woodruff, who just can't get there. The keeper dives on the floor, and the Norton Stockton goalkeeper Rachel Chisnell has been very busy so far, which is what we want to see.
It's good to see Kate already on the ball and making positive moves.
Rebecca Bass makes a positive run down the line, just going to be stopped in her tracks because the ball hits her and bounces out of play. And now we wait for play to get back underway. The Norton Stockton players inside this first 5 minutes. In fact, a free kick was given for a push rather than the throw, so Rebecca Bass will have to watch herself if the referee's on her case. Good header from Hamill. Now in towards Underdown for her first real touch in proceedings. Down the line for Suarez Martins. Hassel has just set off too early, and it is now going to go all the way down, and play will resume. We'll get the game back underway. Just waiting to see how Leeds can settle this down, because it's been very frantic, and just from early observations, goalkeeper struggling to get the power on those kicks out from the back. I know she's been very busy and so far been very able with the ball in her hands, but it's an area that Dan O'Hearn's team and his coaching staff will have to adjust. Jodie, try and push her a bit further forward, and if that is a weakness in Norton's repertoire, then they need to try and exploit it.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe going wide and using the space on the pitch at Tadcaster will be a very big strength. I know Norton like to be very direct with their ball play.
Back it goes to Robson. Here now with Hunt. The team really been able to get this ball under control, get it into a position where they feel like they can dictate possession. That will hopefully change for Leeds' point of view as Robson gets it. She's looking like she was going to clear this down the line, but whoever shouted her to take her time was just in the right place at the right time. Brown needs to be a little bit stronger. Good work from Robson. Danby gets to it. All very scrappy. Norton Stockton certainly putting their body in the way. That's better from Robson. Rather than just toofing it down the line, it was a much more delicate touch. Assel trying to get to it first, prods it forward, looking for Woodruff, who's going to try and use that strength of hers. And the two strikers, while it wasn't pretty, it was very effective. Jodie pushing the ball into the channels, and they're looking like they've linked up really well.
Yeah, I think so, and just obviously chasing every ball down, you know, getting them under pressure is probably the best thing right now. Wasn't sure if one of them was going to be offside then either.
Yeah, I did think that we might have an offside flag go up, but we'll take the fact it went our way. Suarez-Martins flicks it back. Woodruff was trying to get onto the ball, couldn't do so. It'll bounce out of play on the far side, and on the downs in no rush because she knows that will trickle out of play. They've played here, the Global Stadium, enough to realise the changing conditions. She is, though, going to try and take charge rather than let Bass take it. Assel's going to try and keep the ball at her feet. She prods it back. It's good hold-up play from the youngster. Here now is Danby. Danby caught on the ball here with Robson. Robson tries to play Danby in behind. The idea was right. Sadly, the execution was not. And inside the first 10 minutes, still say that Leeds have been the better team. Just sadly got nothing to show for it.
Yeah, obviously we're not sure about what the pitch is going to be like with the recent weather, but hopefully we can adjust to it quickly.
Yeah, it should have had all conditions this week, the Global Stadium pitch, just when we thought the adverse conditions were behind us. Players may need to adjust, but you can see that tactical switch of the players smothering the space as Suarez-Martins tries to play in Astle, who just can't bring it under control. Norton Stockton clear with Sophie Tierney. Long down the line, it's a good touch that from Bass, and she just clears her lines, keeps it simple. You can maybe understand why she might have tried to go for a bit more ambitious pass back to the keeper, but again, as you say, Jodie, the conditions not as good. You can see the fans who were in attendance are pretty happy that she decided to just keep things under control. We know she can get a little bit hot-headed at times. Yeah. So far, so good from Rebecca Bass.
You don't want to be putting anybody under pressure this early in the game.
Yeah, Rebecca Bass is just trying to explain to the referee that there was studs down the back of from that ball over the top. The Norton Stockton players went in with a high boot right down the lower back of Rebecca Bass. It is trying to come forward. Kirsty Hunt smashes that ball away. It's the first time I've not seen Bridie Hannon and Catherine Hamill at the centre-back position, which is normally where Leeds are so consistent. So Norton Stockton may feel they've got a chance today as Robson gets across, just puts her body in the way. Now she's got Brown down the line asking for possession. She's going to take it a little bit further, tries to play it down the line, and it is out of play. But maybe Leeds just trying to force things one past too many rather than just go to feet and start again. Yeah,
I think once they see that space down the side, they know obviously that's a weakness of Norton, so they just kind of want to exploit it quickly, but sometimes you need to be a little bit more patient.
Woodruff with the ball in behind. Suarez-Martins had not checked her run. Just one of those situations where two players had a lot more time than perhaps they needed. If it had to be a snap decision, you probably feel that would have gone a little bit better, that for Leeds.
Yeah, if maybe Suarez Martins can make a run from a bit wider position, that would have been an onside run.
Yeah, the team sheet we had was midfield three of Woodruff, Danby and Underdown, which is still perhaps the case, but Woodruff is almost playing as a second centre forward, and it's almost like a 4-2-2-2 as well, isn't it, which we have seen the Leeds United first team as well, as Leeds now under pressure defensively have to get back and switch on as Hamill tries to stop the attack. The Norton Stockton players taking it forward, and it's a good shot towards the far post. Bianca Owens turning one way then the other, and just for a second when that shot first left her left boot, I didn't think too much of it, but the closer it got, the more I started to panic.
Yeah, she normally makes something or nothing out of a goal out of nothing, so you want to make sure she's not on the ball too often.
There's a couple of players that perhaps Leeds have that feeling about as well, where Norton will be very wary of. They'll probably see the team sheet and been quite relieved that Laura Bartup's getting a break, but now with Katie Astley in the middle. Just say, Jodie, good ball in. Suarez Martins goes across. Don't think that was the intended idea. Too much power on it. Just couldn't get her a control better. Ended up being a decent shooting opportunity with the way it went towards goal, but hey presto, they've listened to your advice. Go wide, spread the play, and Kate Astle was in so much space in the middle as well. I
think she made a brilliant run as well, but I think we've been missing that front post run, and obviously she's just gone for everything there as Katie Astle, but she's just obviously just a bit wide, or just higher of her.
Yeah, if that pass is a little better from Suarez Martins, which I'm sure in time it could be, we could have our first real meaningful chance for the Leeds United debutant today. Katie Astle, as Vanna Hearn said, deserved her opportunity. Been playing very well for the reserves and scoring the goal, so today is her chance to shine as Rebecca Bass sets off on her way, always so dependable to get down that right hand side. This time she couldn't bring it under control, and inside the first 13 minutes it does remain goalless.
Yeah, I wonder if Suarez Martins has been told to maybe pinch in when it's on one side of the pitch, because obviously she seems to be quite central at the moment.
Astle sets off on the way, trying to put the pressure on. She'll have that debutant anxiety about her play, so desperate to do everything right. Buckets of energy, running on adrenaline for quite a large chunk of the game towards the end, I'm sure. And now the ball is played away by Danby. Sadly, Hamill can't get to it. Leeds will need to regroup. It's a heavy touch. Robson decides to stay put for now. Whip towards the edge of the penalty area. Hamill trying to get there. Hunt does get there. And it's a no-nonsense approach so far today from Kirsty Hunt at centre-half, as Woodruff leans into the Norton player, tries to put Norton Stockton under pressure, and they've done just that. It's really good, simple work, really, from Amy Woodruff.
I think Hunt will be very confident there as well. She's played that position before. I know it's not a natural one to her, but she's always very consistent in that role.
Robson down the line. It's cleared away. Robson clears, frustrated by the header going out of play, but Leeds will regroup. I guess it's tough as well, because while we look at this as an opportunity and a fresh start, Jodie, as players in positions, and we know players have been rested with Thursday in mind, but it can then have a knock-on effect negatively, and things start sinking. You don't know, maybe inside out, you know, your game plans of each other. Yes, you can train a couple of times, but there is that familiarity of playing alongside each other that makes that so natural. I'm thinking that Bartup runs to the near post, and you know, even Abby Brown started the season week in, week out in the team, hasn't done so the last few weeks and months, but it might take a first half to get things going.
Yeah, it could be a slow start, just kind of getting used to who's playing where, and you know, different roles, I suppose, in the team. Obviously any change kind of upsets it a little bit sometimes, but it also gives other opportunities to other players, so you might see some shining out today.
You know, I was impressed by Woodruff in her first game the other week, where she had shown so many classy touches, just couldn't get the chances. Norton Stockton now take their time with another throw as it's bundled down the line. Brown will clear. Woodruff is one of those chasing. Astle's peeled away. She just lets it run. That should be a Norton and Stockton throw.
I think with Woodruff playing quite deep last week, and obviously coming inside, I think obviously she's kind of taken up that role anyway, so it's quite good to see what she can do from the midfield area.
Danby is fouled. We don't need any introduction to what Sarah Danby can do in midfield. Underdown takes it quickly to Brown. Brown tries to take it straight down the line. Underdown gets in. Might lose out in that challenge, but showed the bravery needed. Now gets straight back up because Norton and Stockton on the attack. Bass is trying to cover, and she covers exceptionally well. Georgia Watton, and now into Kirsty Hunt. It might help that Kirsty Hunt, as you say, has played centre half. I think it'll help that she's a midfielder normally in this team, so on the ball she shouldn't be scared. It'll be no issue because, of course, Bridie Hannon's biggest strength, I think, is her passing ability as well. And Leeds, even though they made it look quite difficult at times, cleared that ball very effectively as Underdown gives the ball away in midfield. Bass trying to covers really well. Woodruff straight away, she was looking for the flick on pass, just doesn't get it weighted properly. It's a very frantic end-to-end game. There's no real quality on the ball, perhaps the lowest quality we've seen from Leeds on the ball for a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of bouncing going on around the pitch.
And yet they still had 2 or 3 good chances. Here is the player that Jodie identified as one of Norton Stockton's main threats, being Bianca Owens. I think Leeds have struggled to retain possession when they've cleared the lines. There's normally Bartop up there to help out. This fluid formation is maybe costing them in that department as Brown gets to it, tries to keep hold of possession, tries to take it around them again. Second time I'm asking, she wins it back. It will be a Norton and Stockton throw. Just seen Olivia Smart delivering drinks now. Bridie Hannon's in attendance, so come out to support their teammates. Again, important to stay as a collective, you know, even yourself, you know, staying around the group, you know, getting the lowdown on the team. It's such a big week for morale as well. If this result doesn't go to plan or it's a draw, you know, it's not the end of the world with Thursday coming up. You got Sunday as well. It really is a big week, and I think it's a week personally for a bit of a catalyst for next season, what can be produced, because it's not often games will come this thick and fast. That spell where there was a lack of action at the start of the season, as Astle gets down the left-hand side, she tries to use that strength of hers. Now both teams are claiming the ball is theirs. It will be Norton and Stockton's for a goal kick, but I don't think Katie Astle's had any opportunity really to run freely with possession or get it down and have a shot, but yet she's popping up in little areas to cause a few problems.
Yeah, she's definitely chasing things down, and obviously having the defenders something to think about.
It's not been a bad start for her first start in this team. Danby is out in the header. Bass tries to get across, and now in behind Norton and Stockton come on the attack. An opportunity to shoot. Shot does come in, takes a deflection off Hunt. Good reactions from Watton, and it was the efforts from Sophie Hodgson. Those long balls over the top, an area that clearly Norton and Stockton, Jodie, think they can exploit.
Yeah, I think it just fell brilliantly for her, and obviously Bass just kind of missed out on that last touch, just to give her a bit of space there to get a shot off.
And Robson goes long. That should be easily dealt with by Norton Stockton, and it will be. Woodruff takes control. Brown stays central, trying to help her out. Underdown. Back it goes towards Hunt. Hunt to Brown. Brown turns it around the corner to Underdown. Leeds his team trying to build a few passes together. Astle going down the left-hand side. She's peeled into space. Tries to go into the box early. It's a tame cross, and the keeper can catch it. I think it's more of a desperation from Katie Astle, Jodie, just to make sure it doesn't go out for a throw-in or a goal kick.
Yeah, it seemed like obviously she seemed on her own, well isolated in that corner. Didn't see any runs from other players kind of coming closer to her.
Underdown gets to it, and again, second time she's come off second best with a challenge, but the commitment is certainly there to be seen. The flag goes up against Norton and Stockton Ancients, and it will be first real pause we've had for a while. As part of the squad, well, how has the mood been the last few days building up to a big week? Has there been a difference in the feel of the group, the mood, or is it so far business as usual and it'll ramp up as the days get closer?
Yeah, I think obviously the main idea was to obviously stay focused and obviously not kind of get too carried away with the final in midweek, but obviously it does bring a lot of excitement and obviously an opportunity to kind of show what we can do with a team above that are kind of local rivals from the last couple of seasons as well.
Yeah, it's going to come around pretty quickly. Of course, another big opportunity as well to play at Ellen Road, which is a chance for the fans as well to show their support, which I'm sure they will, as Norton Stockton on the attack and ball in behind Watton did show she was coming off her line. Robson diving in a little, cut back, Bass gets there first, puts her body on the line. Brown can't get to the first rebound, she will get to the second and she'll win a free kick. That's good strength from Abby Brown. But certainly not on Stockton's tactics of going early, going over the top are paying dividends. Not enough to score, which is good news for Leeds.
Just going back to playing at Ellen Road at the end of the week, we've had quite a fair share of decent grounds we've played on this season, so it'd be nice to get one at Ellen Road for the girls.
You might as well close out the season with the best, save the best till last. As nearly about to hit that halfway point of this first half. There's 20 odd minutes of team action really as well. I hope it can spice up for Leeds United Women as the game goes on. Hunt again with another commanding clearance. This is going to be a chasing opportunity for Astle, and the defender hasn't realised, and now she's managed to get there, but she's still got work to do. Trying to get past the number 8, doesn't need to, whips it off the legs of Sophie Tierney. In fact, it was the number 6, in fact, Vicky Burton, should I say. And that's what you call feeding off scraps. Really well done, Katie Astle.
Yeah, I don't know if Abby was delayed running down the wing or not, but obviously she didn't have much option, so she's obviously gone for the next thing. Getting a corner for us.
Yeah, Abby Brown will set herself for this set piece. Plenty of Leeds shirts in and around the box. Brown has up the chance to go into the near post. Suarez Martins was there. Now who's got the touch? The referee suggests it was the Leeds United forward, and it will be a goal kick. And if that was the case, a chance goes begging.
Yeah, I thought there maybe because Sandra was already stood, might have been a better option for her to peel out and let Kanisha kind of, take that space running in towards the goal.
Well, we know that Kanisha Underdown has got an eye for goal the last few weeks. A different dimension to her game, who originally appeared to be more of a holding midfielder to try and break up the play. She's done so there. It will be a handball, the last touch. Don't think anyone can have any complaints, especially with the referee so close. And whether even brightening it up for Norton Stockton coaching staff to lose the coat. So getting to that stage of the season.
I know up at their ground it's very windy and a cold one usually, so might be a change from coming down.
Yeah, a bit of a holiday is this. Nice part of the world as we wait for the free kick, which will be taken long by Kate Maguire. Robson gets across, gets involved, goes in with a slightly high challenge, backs out at the last second as Hunt will clear. Towards Aston, will just try and knock it back. I don't think Robson expected it. She's managed to keep it in play, then she flies in with a challenge. It'll be one that'll hurt later. And both teams appeal for a throw. Leeds can't get caught sleeping here. Left back out of position. Now Kirsty Hunt flies across. This player's not shy to put the challenge in today.
Yeah, we know Norton's usually feisty team, so it's quite good to see that we're battling back.
Brown will say she intended that pass to Underdown because it worked a treat as Underdown lays it forward to Suarez Martins. Woodruff tries to take control, and she will win Leeds a throw just by quite simply charging forward and waiting for the touch to come. Suarez Martins doesn't get too much of a touch on the ball. Now back with Bass. Hunt. Bass again, looking down the line for Suarez Martins. Will get another chance to throw down the line into her teammates. Kirsty Hunt's had a really strong start to proceedings. Crisp with the ball at her feet. Intercepted well.
I think it's just making those right choices at the back there and obviously keeping calm, building that confidence.
Interception from Danby, a good one. She's going to go for goal. She's seen the keeper off her line. And unfortunately for Leeds, Rachel Chisnell just about gets back. And that would have been up there for one of the goals of the season for Leeds United Women. So I think she's got every right to go for that, Jodie.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. But obviously Chisnell's quite a tall keeper, and she does well kind of getting back on the line.
I think it worked out in Leeds' favour. Left-footed Sarah Danby, very technically sound. And she fancied her chances and just didn't get the power. She wanted a 1-2. She doesn't get one though because Brown plays it to Underdown, who can't return the favour. And just small signs that Leeds are starting to get a bit more familiarity on the ball and start to get their confidence back. I think if that's Abby Brown and any of the left-footed players in the team, they're going to go for goal from there.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Laura Bartlett would not have passed, and you know, it's a chance to feed off something that is gifted to you. Norton Stockton have so far been pretty compact.
It's really good to see Astle obviously following in that second ball in case Chisnell didn't get to it.
Yeah, big day for her as well. As you say, it's a reserve spell that's got her in this team. Quite simply scoring goals for fun at that level, and with a view to next season perhaps, and even beyond that, well, hopefully Katie Astle can wear that Leeds United shirt with pride and be scoring the goals as well as Leeds climb the leagues. It is still goalless between Leeds United Women and Norton and Stockton Ancients as they go down the line. Double header. Brown with the last touch. Woodruff is caught. That's going to be a sore one, and she'll feel the effects of that, as you can tell now as well, as Astle knocks it back. Brown tries to go early to Suarez Martins. It's a pass. Suarez Martins will have to try and pounce here. The keeper, a rush clearance. Danby with a touch, not enough of a meaningful touch. Still want to see if Emma Woodruff is okay, and the answer is yes, as she makes her way back. Defensive Hamill has got her work cut out today because Bianca Owens has shown a real touch of class. Some good hold-up play.
I think Cass, one of the strong defenders that always seems to stay on her feet and just get in the way of every ball and shot. So hopefully she'll do a job today.
Yeah, a very tough marking assignment for her as Robson goes down the line towards Astle, who again just showing no fear, putting the head in. Going to have to try and work in those tight spaces today. Pass lets it roll past her. She's got the pace over Owens. Owens now just stepping back and opening up the space. Suarez Martins to Underdown. It's a bit better from Leeds, just trying to play a bit more simple football. And we know it's a Simon Danahan's team are playing like this to try and get a bit more confidence as Robson takes it forward. And again, a more simple ball to Underdown. That was a bit one over hit, but again, I think Leeds Joe had a tendency to go too long in the first 15-20 minutes. It's a sign here that maybe they're just starting to feel a bit more confidence, and strong challenge from Bass, did not miss. It's got a touch of the ball as well. Been some great challenges going in.
Yeah, I think that's a really big thing we needed to look on about today coming against Norton. A very strong side that are very physical, so it's usually how they win a lot of their games.
Yeah, good communication from Bass, Robson and Georgia Wattam, who gets it across the side to Hunt, and again Hunt's just trying to pull the strings from centre back, making it look pretty easy. All one touch, two touch stuff from Hunt. Rebecca Bass now playing centre half. Danahan's tactics are going to a whole new level of confusion in the last 2 minutes. The defensive structure, it's worked really well though, as Brown gives away a free kick. Referee said that was a bit strong in the middle. It will be a set piece near the centre circle. Tactics coming from the visitors' bench, and everybody behind the ball for Leeds. It's towards Hamill, it's towards Owens as well. Good hands from Georgia Watton. That could have bounced at an awkward angle. Nearly bounced just in front of her. She doesn't have her hands in the right place and her body positioning right. It could tipple over. And of course, we know the pitch at Tadcaster can have a lot of false ground.
Yeah,
but you identified Owens, sorry to put in there, Jodie, as their main threat as Woodruff is smashed to the floor. And the Norton Stockton player was the last player back. Not sure who it was out of Maguire or Burton.
We've got Astle there running in as well, looking for the advantage.
Now, Woodruff was smashed up into the air. I think the linesman's going across towards, so the referee's going across the linesman to double check which player it was, because there's a combination of the two of them that ran away and got one out of the danger zone. My first thought was that it was Kate Maguire, but I've got every chance of being proven wrong. Mikada coming out, it could be a nerve-wracking moment for them, but I think it was a fair enough distance out from goal. Now, in fact, they have got the identification wrong. So it's not just me that thinks that Vicky Burton and Kate Maguire are the same person. The referee now double checks, and it will be the number 6 Vicky Burton that gets the yellow card.
It's really good to see that he's gone to his linesman just to double check that. Sometimes you just have a referee obviously just going with their first instincts, but sometimes they can't see the whole game.
Yeah, well, can have no complaints, Vicky Burton. It was Maguire that missed the first one.
From what we could see, I think that's quite lucky that we thought she was the last defender as well.
Yeah, it just shows the combination that maybe Woodruff can have with a centre-forward partner. As Abby Brown lines up the set piece. Now, some way out, but Brown, with left-footed, tries to go with the lower option of power to the far post. It's hit Woodruff, who's offside. Couldn't react in time. And it will be a Norton and Stockton free kick.
Looks like the wall did their job, but she's come off worse with it.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. It could be a bit of a game-changing situation because it was the last player back. And I think that's what Leeds will certainly feel that is an issue to contend with. There wasn't that many protests though from the players. I don't know whether it was just the fact that the touch was so far away from goal. With the Leeds player, I don't think Athel was going to get to it with the bobbling ball. But you've got to try and ask the question. I thought the referee dealt with it effectively if he didn't think it was a sending off. As here is Athel into the penalty area. She might need to take a touch here, which she does. Just had a little glance as Suarez Martins tried to go onto the stronger right foot towards the far post. Brown's coming, just can't head it towards goal. The Norton Stockton player now can bring it clear out of danger, scoops it forward to the number 15 of Sasha Millwood. Robson gets there first, and now she's got Brown on the inside. Brown takes it forward, lets it roll past her. Now Brown on the attack, might open up for a right-footed strike. It does. Abby Brown is frustrated because I think the opportunity got better and better the closer she got towards goal.
I feel like right before she struck it then, I think it kind of just trickled to the right a little bit away from her.
Yeah, it would be the case on this pitch. We know it can be have its few false pretenses. Brown did the right thing, but it did bobble one more time before she let fly. And frustration, but and take the positive from it. It was a good team move. Wood gets across, concedes the throw, and it's not been a game for the fullbacks to get forward. We've seen Bass a couple of times, but we know that's Olivia Smart's main contribution in attack. Her energy levels down the left are exemplary. Robson is just as good in terms of her impact in that department, but it hasn't been a game overall for the fullbacks. Hasn't been much ball won in the high areas as Danby's been caught here. Could be a head injury for the referee to check. But I think Leeds will probably need to try and get more ball into the wide areas. Rebecca Bass, like only Rebecca Bass can really, with a very makeshift physiotherapy role. Just getting the mud out of Sarah Danby's face. Almost trying to make her laugh rather than actually concentrate on proceedings.
Yeah, it's usually her strong point.
And now she makes her way out to right back again as Hamill goes long, looking for Astley just over her head, but she will pick up the rebound, tries to head it back across to Brown. Leeds slightly improved since that 20th minute mark. Woodruff and Astle trying to get there. Now this is a chance for Bass to get down that right hand side and charge forward. Was looking for the 1-2 with Suarez Martins, who will use her other decoy and cut in herself and go for goal herself, and the keeper gets the body behind the ball, and it is still goalless.
I think you've always got to remember that Norton are a team to go long. So I think the wing backs are kind of just having that in the back of the mind. You know, if it doesn't come off, then they need to get back for that counter-attack.
The team is 7th in the table, Norton Stockton Ancients, and Leeds beating them both times. And a bit of pride at stake, though. As for today's visitors, they will not want to lose to Leeds on 3 occasions.
I think they do pick up most of their points away as well, so that's one to think about.
With the table as it is, it's meetings that will occur again next season. Brown goes back this time to Hunt. Now Hunt to Danby. Leeds, maybe do just putting a few more passes together. Danby tries to go with another good ball over the top. It's one of the best of the game so far. Robson goes to try and cut it back all the way, looping towards the far post. Keeper doesn't know where it is. Suarez Martins heads it back across, and Rachel Chisnell now takes control. And I think there's going to be a flag up for offside regardless. But a great ball over the top from Danby.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just going to kind of hit the back of the net there in the corner. Just loop down.
Yeah, Chisnell, short clearance again. Brown forces a mistake out of Maguire, and that is cleared away. The Stockton coach getting a touch and getting involved as well. Robson was looking for Brown. It will find Astle in behind. She will win another throw, forcing a clearance once more out of Burton. To the final 10 minutes of proceedings at the Global Stadium in Tadcaster in this first half. Woodruff tried to charge into the box, stopped in her tracks. Bass effectively gets it under control. Back to Hunt, and now Hunt will go across the pitch towards Hamill. Hamill striding forward. Russell has kept it in. It's really good work. And unfortunately can't curl it around the defender. I think she's shown glimpses of what she could bring to the team. It's just a shame both her and Woodruff have not had a clear goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah, I think the closest one's just what we've just seen there from Danby. Was it Robson or Danby, the looping cross?
Yep, we had a couple of good balls into the far post early doors. We've a Brown shot to the near post. We've had Suarez Martins at a corner, but again wasn't really able to open up her body just in time. It's been a weird first 40 minutes because Norton Stockton have had a couple of efforts, but nothing massively creative. Georgia Watton has been very composed in goal. The free kick is taken short. Here is Burton. Robson again too strong, gets there first. Can't keep hold of the ball as it's gone back. Stockton will clear. Danby gets a touch, only to feed another Norton Stockton players. Bass gets there to make sure it can't be played in behind. And today's visitors just as guilty as Leeds have given the ball away. Bass to Danby, and again pass is good. Danby's touch better. Underdown moves out the way as Danby strides forward, getting tired as she's under pressure there. She rolls it to the left hand side for Brown. Brown's first touch takes her back inside. Underdown, under hit, doesn't get it towards Bass. Now she's going to drive back to help out. Bass is doing the exact same. Leeds sense the danger. That ball goes all the way back, and Hamill will let it go behind. And yeah, just disappointing ball that from Underdown, because she, again, I think when Leeds' players have had a lot of time, is when they probably let themselves down the most today.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she was looking at Suarez Martins going a bit further forward, or obviously Bass running in, and it obviously just kind of went in between both.
And Norton Stockton will clear. Brown's pressurising, at least forces a throw in. Leeds maybe can create from nothing here as we wait for Robson to take control. Took a slight touch off the Norton Stockton player, did it? The referee says not. Not fully in agreement at first. But it will be a goal kick instead. Final 5 minutes of the first half. Where do we think Dan O'Hearn will suggest the tactics should change at half-time?
I think when we've kind of just got the ball down and tried to find the feet, obviously it's not come off as we would like, but I think that's probably been the better play that we've seen. And I know obviously the high press has obviously also won the ball back early on in the game. Shows quite a lot of success for us, just need to get that final ball.
We have options as well off the bench. We've got potential on ball there as Brown takes it forward, not given by the official. Will go Norton Stockton's way for a throw. The bench for Leeds, by the way, is Williams, Ramsden, Hindle, Bartup and Smith. Ball's trying to be played in behind. Hunt gets there, Hamill gets there, Robson is there as well. Back to Danby, who will again just show that class in midfield as and when necessary. Across to Bass. Down the lines as far as Martins. Hunt's a wander down. Hamill gets there. Leeds putting some passes together, but put themselves under pressure. So Hamill has to clear it. Likewise Robson. Now Brown's out of position. Zassel tries to stay it around the corner. Woodruff is trying to chase it down. One of the Norton Stockton players is coming across, but Woodruff is too strong. Nearly loses her balance, but gets it across now into Astle. Astle into the near post. It just won't settle down for her. The touch just a little heavy. But the two strikers just trying to bulldoze their way through. Unfortunate for Leeds, Katie Astle couldn't just get the touch right, Jodie, for a shot towards goal.
Yeah, you mentioned that they've been linking up well, and obviously that's just shown another incident there that they can obviously make something of nothing.
It is a free kick to Leeds. Foul on Underdown by number 8, Sophie Tierney. I thought Woodruff was about to hit the deck when she was charging forward. A couple of the Leeds players getting clarity on the referee's decision as Hunt gets the ball down. She's looking further downfield for her options. Floated forward. It's into Woodruff, who's trying to steer it back towards Underdown. Potential shooting position for Leeds now as Danby gets it. She's looking further wide. She was looking for Brown. There's so much power in that pass. And that is, as you say, Jodie Wade, Leeds need to improve in that final third.
Yeah, I think it just needs a little bit off that pass, or maybe Abby to come wide.
Yeah, it seems like
maybe she was expecting Abby to be wide and then didn't realise how close she actually was.
Yeah, it seems like a breakdown, wasn't it? It seems like she played it as if she was wide, and Brown's come inside expecting it to have a lot less power on it. And say it's maybe that cohesion of a lack of game time together of some of these players.
Yeah.
Ash Coyle taking her time to go and retrieve the ball for a throw.
I think Norton will be very happy with the goalless half-time going in.
Yeah, we've had Bianca Owens' header, a shot from her from range. We had a shot from Sophie Hodgson. But I think Watters had to make one decent save. That's about it. But the honest truth is that Chisels had to make one as well, as it just hasn't gone Leeds' way in the final third. There's still so much time for that to change. They've shown a touch of class in some areas, been very scrappy in others.
Be no real threat to goal, like you say.
Yeah, strange half, really is, as Woodruff gets away. So Brown, I'm sure Brown was expecting it. Underdown gets there, now she's trying to scrap away. Two Norton Stockton players combined to good effect. Owens prods it forward. Strong challenge from Bass as Robson is going the wrong way. Now this is a chance for Millwood for Norton and Stockton. She wins her side a throw, so into stoppage time we go in the first half. Not sure there'll be that much of it. Coyle waiting for runners. Chooses her ball towards the edge of the penalty box. Underdown gets it clear. Now Brown trying to put the pressure on, which she does. Gets the block in.
Seems like Norton are just trying to run the clock down and get inside.
Yeah, if a chance pops up here, they'll take it, but it doesn't seem to be, as you say, Jodie, too frantic to try and open the scoring. Ball goes back in, takes a deflection off Brown, so Leeds have to watch this. Danby, shot's going to come in, takes a deflection toward the far post. Hamill gets it clear. The referee puts the whistle to the mouth, and that is the end of the first half. So Leeds under pressure as it ends, need to try and regroup as that second half gets underway in around 15 minutes' time. But the half-time score in the Women's National League is Leeds United Women 0, Norton and Stockton 0. Stockton Ancients will be today's opponents, the same opponents that Leeds United managed to beat this time last week. Interception from Danby, a good one. She's going to go for goal. She's seen a keeper off her line, and unfortunately for Leeds, Rachel Chisnell just about gets back. But you identified Owen's, sorry to put in there, Jodie, as their main threat as Woodruff is smashed to the floor.
It's really good to see that he's gone to his linesman.
He's trying to chase it down. One of the Norton Stockton. He's trying to chase it down. And one of the Norton Stockton players is coming across, but Woodruff is too strong. Nearly loses her balance, but gets it across now into Astle. Astle into the near post. It just won't settle down for her. Welcome back to LUTV's coverage as we just await for the Norton Stockton Ancients to get into position. Leeds United Women 0, Norton Stockton Ancients 0, as we await for the second half. And it does appear we've had a couple of changes for Leeds United, because we have seen the numbers of Katie Ramsden and Rachel Hindle, who have just got in for the team talk, and you can see they have now made their way away out of the huddle. Abby Brown doesn't look like she's been part of that group, and I don't believe Amy Woodruff is there either, but is
Robson, I think,
Woodruff might be the one that's tying her sheet. Myself, Tom Hill and Jodie Hunter. So it is Woodruff, and you can't spot Robson, I can't spot Robson, so we'll get official confirmation. But a little change in proceedings. Ramsden is another youngster that we hope to see a lot of in the years to come. She'll be up front alongside Katie Astle, and Norton Stockton's players slowly getting themselves ready. Don't seem to be too enthused for the second half, the visitors, Jodie.
Yeah, it's obviously not. They're not ready. They're not come out together, have they?
So we will work it out as and when.
These two can play on either side as well, so it's hard to tell what's going to happen now.
Yeah, Brown and Robson, the two players off. So just try to think in terms of a left back.
Left back, left wing, left attacking.
So they will both go left hand side?
Possibly. Don't see Bass changing to the left.
More fun and games for us at the start of this second half to work out who has gone where, but we'll wait and see. And in fact, Bass has gone left, so the very last second change. That means Hindle's gone to right back. Bass goes over to left back, and Ramsden will go play on the left hand side of a front three. So Leeds' team, as we finally get back underway: Watton, Bass, Hunt, Hamill and Hindle, Danby, Underdown, Woodruff, Ramsden, Athel and Suarez Martins. As I say, delighted to be joined by Jodie Hunter this afternoon, who will talk us all the way through this team, as Ramsden straight away on the attack, trying to come forward, nearly flicks it inside to Woodruff. And here now is Suarez Martins, can't play it to Hindle, the pass is too strong, and Leeds United Women will start again. Norton Stockton were really tough to break down, but a resilient side. They go with Chisnell, Coyle, Johnson, Maguire, Burton, who's been carded, Hodgson, Tierney, Reid, Owens, Bassnett and Millwood. They've only got two subs, West and Patrick. Leeds have a free kick. They take it quickly. Suarez Martins with Hindle trying to lay it forward, and not too far away from Leeds United's number 14.
I think they've started the way they did the first half, which is positive. Let's hope we can get something here.
Yeah, it's a chance for Hindle as well. Of course, another one of the recruits. It was tough to keep a track of the latest signings throughout the season. Of course, Suarez Martins was one as well. Robson didn't start the season in the team. Underdown was one of the first signings. So that's what I was trying to get at for next season. We don't want to look too far ahead in what is the busiest week of the season for Leeds United Women, but it could well be that it settles down next year and maybe a more familiar feel with no new faces coming in. The same group starts, the same group finishes. Maybe that's what might make the difference for promotion.
Yeah, I think over the last couple of seasons that's what we've kind of aimed towards, but obviously there is changes, there's obviously injuries and things like that, so hopefully this is the core of the squad that we can keep and build on for next season.
Yeah, Assel was a bit too keen there, got caught in two minds, didn't know whether to head it into the path of a teammate. Then she brought it down, could have played it out wide, could have gone for goal, and instead played it to the keeper, I think, while trying to play a pass in behind, as now Rebecca Bass is flying out of defence at left back. I've seen her play here before. She wins Leeds United Women a throw-in, which I think she's telling Ramsden to take control of. haven't seen too much of Ramsden in our home games. Another young player that we say is catching the eye, of course, international representation as well. Now into the box, Assel cuts it across the face of goal, not far enough for Suarez Martins. But again, it must be a positive sign as well for Dan O'Hearn to be able to bring the youngsters through.
Yeah, I think it's...
What is it like for you, Jodie, as a player that's been around the game for years to come, to see the younger players coming through? I mean, it must be a positive to see the next generation as well.
Yeah, I think obviously to build on from our academy and see them players come into the first team and also representing England it's just fantastic for the club, and obviously to see and watch her grow into a brilliant player that she is.
Danby looks for Assel, can't get onto the end of that part. I don't think Danby was intending to do that. She seemed to be disappointed. I think she was going for goal. Assel was trying to fly across and open the scoring, but yeah, her and Ramsden, the two minnows to the team. Fresh-faced youngsters and trying to impress. I think Katie Assel has shown some glimpses of what she could bring to the fold. Just looking at the half-time tactics as well, by the way, they just by purely a process of elimination, they wonder if it'll be Catherine Smith that comes on next, because she was the one that was in the huddle.
Yeah, she's like...
Don't have any... I wish I had inside sources that told me that, but that, it just maybe makes more sense to give Laura Bartup the full couple of days off.
Yeah,
fresh for the cup game.
I know Smith likes to obviously build the team up and, you know, kind of keep that character going. So it surprised me whether she's part of that or not, coming in one of the first subs of this half or not.
Yeah, ball forward. Woodruff turns, tries to lay it inside to Underdown, who scored from this range this season. She can't get to that ball. Danby plays it wide, looking for Suarez Martins. Hindle set off on her way, trying to get in behind. Suarez Martins pings the ball to the far post. Woodruff tries to pluck it out of the air and prod it forward. Takes a double deflection, I think. It's a deflection that eventually comes off the boot of Amy Woodruff, and it is behind for a goal kick.
Thought it was a good play there. Suarez Martins coming wide, obviously takes that player away. She's still got obviously options to pass it to her, obviously cross it into the box like she did.
Bizarre that nearly everybody in midfield let that ball go as Assel tries to get in behind. Keeper is going to get there first. Hunt's coming across. As the Hunt gets there, goes for territory, clears her lines, keeps it nice and simple. And of course we wish Bridie Hannon is back fit for midweek after a bout of illness. I'm sure that'll be the case. She's there in attendance today, so maybe just a sign of getting her back to 100%. Kirsty Hunt has certainly filled in with some good representation. A couple of Leeds defenders getting caught in two minds there. As Assel gets hold of the ball and tries to bring it clear. She was going for the ambitious passing behind to Ramsden, who's got pace. And Ramsden trying to get in there, gets to the ball. That's tremendous work. Now could she turn the cross inside? She tries to. Woodruff brings it under control. Leeds queuing up at the edge of the box. Suarez Martins can't readjust her feet. Ramsden's good work is unfortunately on that occasion not going to come to any meaningful chance. Danby takes too long on the ball. Norton Stockton can bring it clear, but the ball is now in the attacking position for Norton Stockton, and Leeds have work to do defensively. Bass gets a nudge in the back. She will then get a trip to the floor, and Rebecca Bass is fouled and wins a free kick. And we're speaking about Katie Ramsden before the game, Jodie. Again, another player that we don't want to put too much pressure on and hype around someone, you know, coming into the fold as a youngster, but already you can just see the differences she brings with a bit more rawness in pace, and you know, she might get herself into some good positions just by quite simply being able to be so much quicker than the opposition. Yeah,
you can obviously see that just from that chance there. It looked like she wasn't going to get to it, and she obviously managed to get there and obviously create something. Unfortunately, obviously it didn't come off for Sandra, but it's obviously them opportunities created.
Free kick. Woodruff is fouled. Late challenge It was by the right back, Ash Coyle. So Leeds have a set-piece chance, which Danby is going to take. Hindle, the 20 jersey, slowly making her way towards the edge of the box. Hamill, he's up there. Suarez Martins. You've got Underdown. Astel's also in there. I think Kirsty Hunt might be in the mix as well. Maybe just trying to see the line they're taking, the formation they're ready. Danby prepares.
It might be Woodruff there in the middle as well.
Yeah, I think it is Woodruff, in fact, over Hunt. So Leeds have got a few players back, but certainly going for broke here with this set piece to attack. As Danby floats the ball in towards Underdown, the near post. Will it fall towards Rampton? It won't. Underdown tries to get it back under control. Astel gets there now. Free kick's going to go against Underdown. That looked very soft, but the referee clearly saw something. Underdown has then obviously told the referee what she thinks. There's an apology, a slap on the back.
Yeah, I think she's moved that over there. It seemed like they were both kind of holding on to each other, so I'm surprised he's given something there.
Yeah, it just looked to be something of nothing, really, but the referee believes that to be the case. He's got a great view of it. Astel just coming across to the near side, and more about up is the change that Leeds will make next. So the experienced forward is now on, and just a little bit, Jodie, on your thoughts on how Katie Astel did today when it wasn't her day for a goal-scoring opportunity, which I think is where I sometimes feel sorry for a player coming into the team, because when you're new to the setup, you've scored so many goals, she can't even show what she's all about in that department, because she hasn't quite simply had a shooting opportunity. Yeah,
I think it'd be very unfair to say, you know, that she's not done well there. She's obviously, everything that she's been given, she's obviously done really well. And obviously there wasn't a shot or anything that she could do much with there. So I know she obviously showed that she's got good pressure. She's fighting for every ball. So it's a very positive one from her, I think.
Yeah, I thought she showed some decent touches in places. I thought her defensive work was really consistent as well. As you say, Jodie, as Ramsden now gets back, she's kicked up into the air. And Rebecca Bass, no surprise, is the first one in to protest. And we don't condone the strong challenges. The card's going to come out. Rebecca Bass is always someone I have in my notebook as somebody that will go and get revenge if she has to. Very passionate player. Hamill's now getting involved. But you said it earlier about it's a team that, as a player yourself, you identify them as being quite a physical and aggressive team. Leeds standing up for themselves. I mean, that just seemed a little bit unfortunate, but again, it's almost got that element of Ramsden's the youngster in the group, and they're looking after it, making sure that the protection's okay. As the card comes out, I think it was Sophie Tierney that picked it up in the number 8 jersey.
Yeah, you want to look after your young players, and a player like that with that calibre, obviously you want to make sure she's not going to get injured in something like that. But I think you want to you obviously protect your teammates anyway. So it's good to see that they're quickly on the ref's case there to make sure she's dealt with.
Yeah, Bass deals with this situation, concedes a throw. A couple of players arguing amongst themselves, and again the passion is there. Mentioned earlier, Norton have been beaten twice by Leeds this season, once in the Cup, in the Vitality Women's FA Cup, and then once in the league. That came last weekend. So for the treble defeats, that's a disappointment for them. They're desperate to avoid that, should I say, as they come forward now on their shots. Tierney comes in, handball appeals, and the referee gives it. I think it was Kirsty Hunt that was in the way. She's trying to suggest that she was putting her arms across her chest. Referee does not agree, and the penalty goes their way, and Bianca Owens has the ball under her arm, ready to go. Tough one, very close. We'll have to see a replay. There's no time wasting though. A penalty taken straight away. Owens, top corner. It's a beauty. And Georgia Watson went the right way. A very spirited attempt from Georgia Watson to commit herself to that far corner. But Owens opens the scoring. And now we'll get the chance to dissect it and whether or not it was a penalty.
Yeah, I think it's harsh when you think it's obviously quite close, but as a referee, you've obviously just got to go with it. So we'll see it here again.
Yeah, I mean, Leeds could have got to the ball originally at first. I tell you what, I thought that hit her in the side of the face at the same time. That's to see a different angle. It's very tough to see. Referee, in fairness to him, has got an angle that's perfect, point blank range. So he gave the decision. I thought she seemed to put her arms to her chest, and it maybe did it hit her hand onto her face? We're not sure, but that has to be. I know we get so much protesting now in men's football, and that has to be maybe the quickest handball and penalty I might have seen in a good long time as a commentator.
Yeah, I thought Owens put the ball down
25 seconds max.
Very quickly, and obviously she knew exactly where she wanted the ball to go. I don't think you want the ball anywhere else other than where she put it. Keeper had no chance, to be honest.
Just when we need VAR at Tadcaster, just to double check things and give us 5 minutes. We have the first goal. Unfortunately for us, it's gone against Leeds United Women, and they trail thanks to Owens' penalty, which was, as I say, is really well taken. Jodie, straight from the first whistle, suggested that she was the main danger for Norton Stockton, and she's been proven right as they're on the attack from deep. Ramsden and Bass on that left-hand side. Leeds need to try and get Bartup a touch on the ball. Bass comes flying in, she flies into the challenge and now gets up and out of the way. Forward it goes, looking for Bartup. She just can't get to it at the first time of asking, and it's turned away. That's took a touch off Bartup. Well, maybe the referee's feeling guilty for the penalty, because I thought that took a clear touch, Jodie.
Yeah, I think you're looking at her body language as well, like you afterwards.
Yeah, one's fuming and one looks like she knows exactly what's happened, and that's Bartup as Ramsden does well to get out of her feet. Now it's with Danby. Danby turns away. She suggesting she might even go for goal. Shots come in. That takes a deflection. Now it's cleared away by Burton, and it will be another Leeds United throw. Just with the way Rebecca Bass feels, she couldn't be any more.
I'm not sure if this is a free kick.
Yeah, given a free kick. Perhaps it was for a handball on Burton. Then he did seem to go forward, and the tactics are coming out. Bartup's got it lined up, but yeah, just the way that Rebecca Bass plays, I don't think it could be any more a typical Leeds United women's player. What the club wants from the fan base wants. Rebecca Bass is pretty much the model of it.
She definitely leads through and through. I know she's from the local area of Tadcaster as well. She fights for everything for that shirt, that team.
Yeah, there's a reason we've got a chance here, and it is one of her tackles. As shot comes in, there's a player that's been absolutely smashed there by the ball, and thoughts are out there, hoping that one of the players is okay, because they're in a real heap on the floor. Didn't see which one. I think
it's Owen,
the wall did its job effectively. That's going to hurt. We saw in the first team yesterday, Luke Ayling was back up on his feet in a split second, but that one looked like it certainly had a more effect, and Owens is going to take her time. The referee is just going to make sure, because it's a head injury, that the physios come across.
I think Bianca's decided on not to bother with who's come on, it seems, just having a laugh.
Does look like that is the case, and they're good to go. A very powerful shot from Laura Bartup, so it would have hurt, and we just wait for the game to get back underway. But while the players are laughing and joking, and you can see enjoying themselves, this is still a big 10 minutes, this, Jodie, in terms of to get to that 70-minute mark. You almost feel a little bit a sour taste, because I think you made the point right at the end of the first half. Norton and Stockton have not really done that much. I know they're a very solid team, but attacking wise they didn't do that much, and a penalty is the difference, and sometimes that's the way it goes.
Yeah, we have to softly pick ourselves back up and obviously just keep thinking about the next couple of minutes here. We need to get a couple of chances through.
Shot's going to come in from range. Watham's going to try and get there. Hits the crossbar, and now can they pounce? Getting back is Hindle. Georgia Wattham didn't seem to know any idea where that ball was coming from. It's an effort from Shannon Reid in the number 9 shirt. What an effort that was indeed. Ball still into the area. The shot comes in, and now Norton Stockton are denied. They're 7th in the table. They will go up to 6 today with a victory, and they've got the bit between their teeth. Confidence is flying through them.
Just as you said that, they hadn't had much chances in the game.
Yeah, I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame, but again, it's come from nothing. Lack of pressure in midfield. A couple of players caught in two minds whether to go for it or not. Reid certainly had her intentions and got to praise Hindle defensively as Leeds win a free kick in midfield. And it's often games where like this, after watching in the last few weeks, that comes in, you can see what influence Dobby has in midfield, where she settles things down and controls matters. Leeds don't have much control in midfield at the moment, as Ramsden is told the ball is not going to be going in Leeds' favour, and it will be Norton Stockton that get the throw instead. Goes to ground. Referee, I think, gives the right decision. There wasn't much in that.
Yeah, I think she might have just had too many touches, too many turns there.
Yeah, the first one was very effective. You said it earlier about Catherine Hamill being very strong and dependent one-on-one. She stood her ground and defended pretty effective. As here is Hindle, takes it forward, runs straight into traffic though, and the ball is played down the line. And Owens, I think, was having a quick rest after being thumped to the deck. Here now is Kirsty Hunt at centre half. Leeds lack of options in some parts. She goes forward to Barton, who brings it under control. Barton back to Hindle. Hindle's asking for runners. Fires it to the far post. Here is Ramsden, goes for goal, and it's over. The flag was going to deny her anyway. And Leeds is, I'd probably say, the best move of the match for Leeds in terms of from the right to the left. We've seen left to the right with Brown. We had Robson, but from that position on the right hand side, easily the best delivery we've had. It's a shame one, the execution wasn't as good, but of course the flag was always going to stop us anyway.
Yeah, I thought if she played it here she'd been onside, and then just obviously an extra couple of touches just takes her off.
Yeah, she's frustrated, Ramsden, really frustrated, as the first sub for Stockton Ancients is prepared. It is Lily Patrick that is coming on. They've got try and maybe see this one out and just reassure things. We'll see the player that's this is hopefully shortly. I think they might have come off in the meantime while we're waiting for that change, so we'll try and work out that Smith is being lined up. And when I was trying to say about that control in midfield, I don't think Catherine Smith brings it compared to Dobby in terms of getting the foot on the ball. Smith's control normally comes from the running she provides, the directness in midfield. It's a different approach. As under pressure here, Leeds, Bass has dived in, eventually gets back to it and shows quick reactions to prod the ball behind for a corner.
Yeah, I think Smith's a completely different player to Dobby. She's obviously always on the attack, always chasing everything down and tries to create something for the team.
Post flick on, headed up in the air by Woodruff. Leeds had to try and push out here, a little bit slow to react. Substitute, Patrick gets to it. Hindle's trying to force her wide, and Hindle does just that and gets her, at least for the time being, away from goal. Leeds, of course, will want to make the change as quickly as they can. They've been told to do so now. So Smith is on.
Williams.
And Williams as well. Double change. So Paige Williams and Catherine Smith. The full allocation of subs will be used. We've got Underdown. And Suarez Martins as well. So that should just be a straight swap. Underdown for Smith, and Suarez Martins and Williams goes on that side.
Yeah, maybe more of an attacking midfield as opposed to what we started with.
Yeah, I can pretty much say it's going all out to try and make sure there's an improvement in the scoreline. All cards dealt. It was Wood replaced for the early change, by the way, for Patrick. Leeds flying to the challenge. Scrappy game continues. And brings it under control. Ball back to Wattam, who tries to go straight back, maybe panicked at the last second, expecting that to bobble. Wattam gets behind the ball again and can regroup. And it has just got that frantic feel about it. I think it's had that all day as Bartek comes forward with a double handball. Referee plays on. Bartup gets away. This is where Laura Bartup comes into her own. It's not just her finishing ability, it's the ability to hold up possession, as Williams makes life really tough for herself going down the right-hand side, and she takes it out of play. One thing I guess we could maybe say just for the pure fitness levels is that with only 2 subs for Norton Stockton, maybe the players will start to flag a little bit quicker. Leeds have more subs that of course they've used, but it is hopefully something, you know, I mean, maybe I'm just trying to feed off scraps for the Leeds United women's team to try and get a way back into it, but you would say naturally they'll tire, and you'd hope the subs will make a big impact.
Yeah, hopefully we had a really strong bench in today's game, so hopefully we'll see something come from that. I know the fitness levels are very high as well from all the players.
Ball cleared away by Norton Stockton. It's back into his hand. Hindle goes early, forward to Williams. Nobody can control it for either side. Eventually it's cleared away. Hunt, Hamill, back to Danby, and it's Danby that shows a bit of patience, but as doing so, she's giving it to Owens. Owens looking like she wants to shoot towards goal, instead plays it in behind. Leeds have got to get there. Keeper comes off her line. Good work, Georgia Wattam. Very good work. And again, you can just see what Owens brings this Norton Stockton team.
Yeah, it looks like she initially looks like, oh, is the keeper off the line again, but she obviously plays that really intricate pass through. Just kind of runs to the keeper again.
Yeah, Bartup looking for Ramsden, who will get the pace. Now she has to try and get a good ball into the box. She cuts it back. Far post there was Woodruff. It's headed behind, and it's a good header behind, and it is a Leeds United corner, but Bartup, Ramsden combining. It's the sort of play that Donna Herman wants to see.
Yeah, and just obviously the quickness of Ramsden there just shows she was easily getting to the ball and getting the cross off.
Catherine Smith is over for the corner. Danby's making away just the near post. You've got Hunt in the number 8 jersey on the edge of the box. Smith floats it forward. It's towards Hunt, who tries to head it towards goal. Sadly, can only head it wide, but Bartup will keep this attack going. Bartup swings the ball in. It's a really powerful cross to the far post. Keeper gets a touch to it. Back out to Smith it goes. Into the penalty area, headed forward and behind, or headed behind, and towards another Leeds United corner. Bit of sustained pressure, Jodie.
Yeah, I think we were able to recycle the ball a couple of times there into the box and come away with another corner.
Smith towards Bartup. Bartup heads it the wrong way, trying to glance it. Gets up early enough, but she was coming back down to the ground when she got to it eventually.
I think you should have realised as well there was a little bit of space she'd created there to maybe get a touch before with that initial header.
It's been frustrating so far for Dan O'Hearn's side. Is it times like this as a player when things are not going your way? We'll just break off because Leeds on the attack, but is it times like this where as a player, as a member of the squad that would likely have come on off the bench, where the frustration kicks in because you want to constantly help out and you can see perhaps what the players can't see, and is this where it gets a little frustrating?
Yeah, I think sometimes you don't want to catch yourself clock watching. Obviously you just want to go on there and try and keep calm and obviously focus on what you can do in the game to make a positive impact, but sometimes the clock does kind of take your focus away. Sometimes you kind of do a few things that you wouldn't normally do and rush things, I suppose.
Bass gets to the ball, flicks it down the line to Woodruff, now to Bartup. Bartup holding it up. Ramsden takes it forward. She's going to go for goal from range, tries to catch the keeper off guard. And while it will be a shot, it's a shot that the keeper doesn't have any real trouble with, Rachel Chisnell.
Yeah, I think she's done well with what she's been given, but there's not been much to test her today.
That will be the frustration, I think, for the forwards. Still plenty of time to do that, though, as less than 20 minutes left on the regulation time, but we've got stoppage time as Danby leads a throw. That's where Sarah Danby does come into her own, when you've got to get somebody with a bit of finesse in the ball.
Yeah,
rather than just go back to the keeper. She somehow gets a throw in near halfway.
Yeah, I think she obviously checks the shoulder early on to know what she's available to her, and she makes the right decision to go up down the line.
think Dan O'Hearn's frustrated as he slaps the ball into the floor in frustration. And again, you can see why it has got that feel. Stockton having the one shot towards goal from the penalty. I know they've hit the crossbar in the second half again, but before that it just wasn't the case, as Ramsden is beaten to it. Really well done though from Ramsden. Just when I was about to say she's got no help, she goes and gets it back herself, and now she sets off on her way down the left-hand side. She's trying to force a mistake. You can clearly see what she brings to the party. Just sheer speed, guts, determination.
Lots of energy.
Yes, such an important player off the bench for Leeds today so far. Throwing to come again. The windy conditions hopefully play their part here for Leeds. They can try and pen them in. Smith steers it forward, trying to pick out Bartup. Bartup's got the option to go round there to Ramsden. She's also got the chance to go for goal, and that is Leeds' best effort of the game. No surprise it comes with their most experienced striker, Laura Bartup, getting there, shooting to goal. Unfortunately for her, the keeper had her body behind it, and it just didn't have the power. But again, working in tight spaces, Jodie. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come in the next 20 minutes.
I'm not sure if she thought she was able to kind of swing her leg back fully to pull the trigger there, just kind of get a quick shot off.
Norton Stockton coming forward. Reed with a flick on over the top. Hunt gets there, clears out of play. It will be a throw. I think that's maybe the difference between the two teams. They've had more snapshots of Norton and Stockton. Leeds have tried to be a bit more methodical in that department, and haven't had as much space. Danby tries to keep with the forward Reed as the shot's going to come in from Tierney. It takes a deflection. Bass is there anyway. Now Bass dives in, just misses the ball, but she'll go back for a second, third opportunity. Now she's going to try and steer it behind, and it is given as a goal kick.
The difference I've seen today in Norton is the seam, when they're able to, they've tried to take a few stoppages in play. They've tried to take the restart quite quickly. It's obviously come off for them. Whereas before, in previous games, it seems like they've wanted to, slow the game down, catch the breath back more so.
Here's Danby, shows too much of it to Patrick. Ball deflects off her legs, and now it goes back into the middle of the park. Here now is Kirsty Hunt. Leeds just need to try and get a bit more control in possession. I think their pass is a lot shorter. Get a bit more joy that way as Rudroff is barged off the ball, but it actually helps and works in her favour. She tries to swing the cross in. It's going to be cleared awkwardly by Norton Stockton. It will be a Leeds United throw, but that's just so simple for Leeds in terms of ball down the line, good delivery in. Going to try and make things a little bit more basic for themselves. And they have got into some good areas when they have done so. Bartup, beautiful touch to bring it under control. Back to Williams. Dances one way, then the other, and back again, back out to Hindle. Hindle's got to try and deliver the ball. It takes a deflection. It'll be another throw.
She wanted to take it early there.
Maybe not as many options as she would have liked. Bartup then knocked off the ball, and you just need to try and, as you say, Jodie, maybe quicken things up a little bit, try and catch Norton off guard.
I think that's what they were looking for, it seems.
And it will be a corner. Dan O'Hearn decides to join the ranks and give the ball into the corner flag himself.
Didn't see much more movement other than kind of looking for another corner there.
Yeah, it was Laura Bartup or a corner. They were the options for Rachel Hindle, as the ball now in the hands of, or at the feet, should I say, of Sarah Danby towards the near post, headed behind, and Leeds, I think it's the best spell of pressure in the entire game. Let's hope it can work in their favour.
Seen quite a few corners so far, second half.
Danby again, left-footed, floated this time to the far post, headed back by Hunt, cleared away by Norton Stockton, only as far as Smith, who tries to head it back into the zone. She was clipped at the back and she wins a free kick.
Yeah, I didn't think it was much of an advantage there if the referee had let it play on.
It's one of those awkward ones for Catherine Smith where I'm sure she feels she'll be about to be crunched. Has to take the header anyway. And being brave has got Leeds a set piece. Let's hope Laura Bartup can make sure it wasn't for nothing. And we'll get a grandstand finish inside the last 10 minutes. Her and Danby, last time around, argued who should take it. This time, Bartup tells Danby to take control. Catherine Hamill has moved just to the side. Is it now going to be a late set piece? Leeds maybe looking for somebody to take control. Danby decides to float it in. A conviction behind the ball. It falls to Bass. Bass is going to carry it forward. She's going to go for goal. And through a crowd of shirts, sadly, it won't take a deflection in Leeds' favour as they race back to get into defensive shape. A bit to see Rebecca Bass score from that range.
She has scored this season.
But she is, I think, quite effective in that she does like to run onto the ball, hit it early from a deep position when it's open. I've seen it come close a few times. I think it was, again, it's been one of those games where it hasn't worked on occasion, so to go for goal from range perhaps at times, try and catch the keeper out, is maybe the way to go. Not the pass is the way to go there from Bass. As Norton Stockton break forward, it is now into Patrick. Smith gets back again and gets a touch on the ball. They're looking tired, Norton Stockton.
Yeah, like you say, the two subs obviously isn't going to help them. So we can just be patient and, you know, wait for that chance
Danby
to execute.
Over the top to Ramsden. Sorry to put in there, Jodie, as Ramsden's trying to wrestle away from trouble. She tries to dance away. It's another good delivery into the box. Takes a deflection. It'll be behind for a corner. And Katie Ramsden's done her chances of playing more regularly this team no harm whatsoever today.
Yeah, I think her only absences have been for the call-ups, which you don't mind.
Danby on the edge of the box. Smith likewise in the 7 and 10 shirts respectively. Hunt, Hamill, Bartup all in there. Towards the near post, takes a deflection. Maybe a Hunt ball as Hunt goes for it. Gets the connection wrong. Hamill back into the box. Another slice. And it is going to be cleared away eventually, I think, at the last attempt by Norton Stockton, unless Leeds can get to it. It's a tame clearance. Now Leeds have got options to take it in their stride. Could Bartup be the one to take it? Smith across the face. It's blocked behind. It'll be another corner. Should Laura Bartup have called rank on that?
I guess looking for which angle was the better one, see all the goal. I'm not sure. I think it was just who got there first one, maybe.
And the corner to come. It's with Danby. Towards the edge of the penalty spot. Hamill goes for it. I think she's come off second best in the head collision. It'll be another corner. She was just a little bit groggy there, Catherine Hamill. Unless she was down on her knees in frustration that she'd missed the chance. Another chance to come from Danby's delivery. They're arguing in the box, trying to see who should go where for Norton Stockton. They do enough to clear it. Ramsden gets across, doesn't have enough purchase on the pass. Bass had to be brave, and back it goes to Hindle. And May just try and go wide and reset things. Needed to be told she maybe had a little bit more time there. Now there's a Norton Stockton player down. Into the final 10 minutes we go. I think if this had been the Leeds for spells in the first half, Leeds wouldn't be without a goal today. Without a doubt, their best spell. It's just a case where they can rally to get a point.
Yeah, obviously we had a good run of corners there, but we haven't managed to do much with it. So hopefully it's just a build on what's about to come.
Stop to player now back on her feet. Referee taking charge of proceedings. And the change to come by the looks of things. Leeds will need to try and use this disruption to their advantage. It will be Chloe West to come on. That's Millwall. By the way, it was Sophie Hodgson that was the first change earlier on, so apologies for that. And now Chloe West is on the park for Norton and Stockton Ancients. So Leeds have less than 10 minutes to go and try and get an equalising goal or more. Heather Johnson with a throw-in down the line. Hindle brings it under control. Williams across to Hamill. That should be Leeds' throw. It will be.
I think we're fortunate there to get a throw-in. I don't think Williams was ready for that one.
No, she looked like she was expecting a bit more of a longer pass down the line, one that didn't come.
Kirsty, get it.
That one will clear. Looking for Bartup or Danby. Eventually reaches Danby and then Ramsden. Bartup gets it eventually. Danby going down the line over the top looking for Ramsden. Tries to get there. Takes it from it as Woodruff. Woodruff coming forward. Two Norton Stockton players go to ground. Nothing given by the official. Owens on the attack. He's going to go for goal early doors. And it's into the hands of Watton. Just suggested from your body language to the side of me there, Jodie, that you hoped that Ramsden took that rather than Amy Woodruff.
I thought Woodruff's been man-marked throughout the game, so I thought she's obviously brought that extra player in, and they seem to be just sandwiching her, or, blocking her path. So I thought maybe Ramsden could have, took the ball to the middle, more central of the field and got a shot off.
Cast the player down with a blow to the nose, just trying to get her breath back and get her bearings. So we got about 6-7 minutes left. Stoppage time in the subs might even get up to 93 minutes in Tadcaster. Georgia Mossam has the ball in her hands. Of course, the referee has to touch it before Watto can get back hold. Bass has work to do to try and stop Shannon Reid. Reid looking for a throw-in. She gets something a bit better than that, and now Leeds are out of position as they're on the attack. It's across the face of goal. It's a powerful cross and one that goes in. I'm not sure how much Chloe West intended for that to go into the far corner, but it has. Norton Stockton Ancients lead by 2-0. And a breakdown at left back. Got the space. And she's celebrating.
You can see how much it means to that team to get that second goal.
Was the intention behind that, or was that a cross?
Personally, I'd say it was more of a cross. I'm not sure if
it's a great finish, isn't it, regardless, but just that is the hammer blow you'd feel for Leeds. And it was just a commitment for Danby to step up. Nobody tracking behind for West. And it goes straight across the goal and into the back of the net. And Norton Stockton do celebrate. What I'm sure for them is such a big win for them this season. Of course, Leeds, I hope, ambitions of promotion into a cup final this week. They've already lost twice to them, so it's a big chance for them as Smith is caught. Referee says no free kick. And that will be a free kick as Smith goes back to get revenge, but in doing so, she's now caught Sarah Danby. As a player, does this maybe go down as another notch to the list on the bow of maybe performances that have offered a bit more? Other teams have managed to pip results, and it's perhaps why Leeds have shown this season that they're better than a good majority of the division, behind Liverpool and Newcastle. But it is these sort of games where, on paper, statistically, Leeds should be winning, that have let them down.
You can't go into any fixture whatsoever in this league. Reminds me very similar to the Championship, where you just got to obviously go to each team as though they mean so much. You've got to win that 3 points at the end of the game, not at the beginning. You can't just go to a side and just think, oh yeah, we've got this one.
It's been frustrating for Leeds because Norton and Stockton have had 2 good shots towards goal, or 3 good shots. 1 hit the crossbar, 2 have gone in. Leeds have had so much pressure, but today's visitors have been far more clinical as that ball has gone out for a goal kick. There's a Norton and Stockton player down with another injury, and time will continue to tick by.
Yeah, I think me saying they only had 2 subs, I think they're using this time wisely, unfortunately, for Leeds.
Forward it goes, Hamill prods it back. Zombie. Sorry, Jodie.
I was going to say, I think it's a frustrating one to watch because obviously we've had quite a few changes and a very strong bench, but sometimes it just unsettles it. Whereas Norton, with the 2 changes in the second half, obviously have kind of built together.
Yeah, it's the one to learn from today for me in terms of potential. Norton Stockton, though, have been resilient. They've been hard to beat. Not given much away themselves, and then when they've had the chances, they've taken them. A little bit of luck with the second goal, although it looks a great finish if that was her intention. But you often find you get luck when you continue to make opportunities for yourself. As Leeds have lessons to learn, and maybe more selection headaches for Dana Hearn ahead of the cup final on Thursday. Because here comes Hindle striding out of defence. He's caught in 2 minds rather than going for a conviction pass. She just scuffs it, and now she's got to get back as they're on the attack here. Norton and Stockton. It's into Owens. The Leeds players not going full throttle into the challenge. That's allowed her to carry on regardless.
She's going to waste the time.
And I was going to say she waits for the challenge. It comes from Hindle, and that's just really smart striker play.
She's very experienced and she always seems to get that foul against. I think that's why quite a lot of players seem to stand off her, especially around the box and inside the box area.
And suggestions are they're going to keep this in the corner and waste a bit more time. Leeds can't really afford to lose their heads here and give more free kicks away, which they've done so.
That's what she wants.
Woodruff this time.
Must have been taking lessons off you. Must have been taking lessons from the start.
And we'll have same again as Williams flies in, concedes a throw, frustrations again.
Not sure if that was a foul for her.
Leeds will get that decision. Good spot, Jodie. Hill comes across to take it. Leeds running out of time for what will be a consolation goal. A couple of minutes of stoppage time, and they'll be marched right back into the corner. That won't do their mood any good. Back down the line by Patrick. Williams heads for another throw. Norton Stockton in no rush to take it. Going Leeds' way as Patrick just kicks it away to just waste a little bit more time. A little warning from the referee.
I wasn't sure if he was going to get a yellow card out there.
Yeah, maybe this stage of the game, so little left and the 2-0 scoreline, maybe he's feeling a little bit generous, and Leeds of course are still frustrated as Hindle just still 10 yards from the throw. Referee lets it go. There is Smith. Spell of possession just sapped away from Leeds once they conceded the second goal. There's been nothing but scrappy ever since.
Yeah, I I think we need to get the ball down here.
Pattup is looking for that. Third away, shouldn't get enough loft towards Bass. Smith can't get to it. There though is Danby. Out to Bass it goes. He's running out of time. They have to get the ball forward. Towards Danby, onto a stronger left foot, in towards the near post. Couple of players miss it. It won't fall Leeds' way. Sums up the day as Smith rolls it across the park, and it's cleared by Norton Stockton, who once more take control and show a bit more conviction. Now they're on the attack. Hindle racing back to get across, and now at the second time of asking, we'll go back to Georgia Watton.
Just seen a couple of chances there in our Norton box. Just seems like it's just not falling for Leeds whatsoever.
No, I think it's a bad day at the office to forget about. Referee checks the watch. Leeds still looking for the ball. Woodruff, Bartup gets away. Bartup tries to come for it again, nearly goes without it. Now she turns. Bass is asking for it in behind. It won't reach her. Big deflection. And Danby goes to ground. And Leeds, maybe get the feeling that even Leeds' players want to be off the pitch and regroup for Thursday. Well, the Leeds players stayed down. Referee just checking things.
I think it was Danby.
Yeah, Danby seemed to get caught on the top of the right boot. She's just told the referee to play on with the time elapsing, so into the 4th minute of stoppage time. Don't get the sense there'll be much more. The ball is cleared away by Owens. Back it goes by Hindle. Leeds not being able to get the ball down, and a huge scream of elation from Bianca Owens, one of the goal scorers today. A deserved victory for a clinical performance from Norton and Stockton Ancients as they get revenge on Leeds, who have already beaten them on 2 occasions this season. So a big week for Leeds United Women. Hasn't got off to the perfect start. They're in the County Cup final on Thursday, and they play at Ellen Road on Sunday. So do make sure you turn out in support for that, as hopefully Leeds can bounce back in some style. But for today, thank you once again to Jodie Hunter for joining us here on LUTV, and we hope the rest of the week is a lot brighter. Full-time score: Leeds United Women 0, Norton and Stockton 2. Victory for a clinical performance from Norton and Stockton Ancients as they get revenge